Hello friends! My name is Shayla and today I am here to film a Q&A with you. So over the last week I've been collecting questions from Instagram and YouTube to answer for you guys in my 1-year anniversary here on Booktube. I'm going to start with the couple that popped up on YouTube and then I will pop over to the ones on Instagram. I tend to have a lot more interaction on Instagram. I do spend a lot of time over there. So if you want to interact with me more than what you currently are, I would suggest checking out my Instagram account because I'm very active over there, posting every day practically kind of stuff. Let's just dig right in. Summer Thompson asked, are you doing Victober or the Victorian October TBR? You know, I'm not 100% sure yet. One, because this is the first I've heard of it. And two, because I tend to be a mood reader. So picking a theme for an entire month could really make me crash and burn really, really hard. So I'm gonna kind of leave that one alone. The next one is from It's a Reading Thing and she says, aw, cute kitty. Or aw, kitty cat. So in my announcement video, you get to meet my brand new kitty Light Song. He's 13 weeks now, and we absolutely adore him. He's a sweetie. Yes, that is from a Brandon Sanderson novel. My favorite, actually, Warbreaker, so go ahead and check that out. Emily Boone asked, my question for you is what would you suggest a newbie manga reader to read? I've never read any manga because it's so overwhelming. Where should I start? In response to you, Emily, what I would say is find a genre you typically enjoy in fiction, and then look for popular recommendations in those genres of manga, because manga is not just one thing. There's contemporary manga, there's fantasy manga, there's so many different types. A couple I like right off the top of my head. I love Orange. It's always going to be like one of my #1 recommendations. One, because it's short, and two, just because it's fantastic. Another one I would recommend to a lot of people is Death Note. The way they play with moral gray ground in that manga series is absolutely genius. And #3, for just a fun, slightly fantasy one, is Fairy Tail. I always love Fairy Tail, but you end up with immortal characters. An anime I've really been enjoying recently was Hunter x Hunter, and I've heard the manga is just as good. So that would be another one to maybe pick up. I would start with one of those 4. The shortest commitment time is going to be Orange. But it is a little more on the contemporary side, so if that doesn't appeal to you, check out one of those other series. Sorry, that was a really long-winded response. I hope you get what you need out of that. Steven over at the Long Gnome says, congratulations. My question is based on your recent business acquisition. What are the top 3 tips for anyone who is taking on a business or starting up a new business? The 3 things I would recommend is 1, have a partner, 2, have it be a business doing something that you love, and 3, roll with it. You can try to plan out everything perfectly, but it's not going to go as perfectly planned. So you just got to roll with things. To be a business owner, you just got to kind of ride the waves and roll with the punches. For those of you who aren't aware, I recently purchased the salon I had been working in. I've been a cosmetologist for 12 plus years, almost 13 now. God, that makes me feel old to say. Those would be my 3 things. Have a partner, make sure it's doing something that you love, and roll with it. Those 3 things will get you through pretty much anything. All right, so those were the couple that I got over there. I'm gonna pop over to Instagram now because there's a lot more questions there. Jen Suze asked, what are your top 5 favorite books? I would have asked you for your favorite book, but I can't ever choose just one myself. Well, that's always ever-changing. Currently, we're looking at The Princess Bride, which is always an all-time favorite, same as The Secret Garden. And then from there, I would probably say The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry. So hard to choose. I have to throw in the Throne of Glass series because Empire of Storms is absolutely fantastic, my favorite book so far. And it's been really super enjoyable and wonderful, and I need to glance at my shelf for a second. And then it would have to be Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I absolutely adore it. It's not actually on my shelf right now. My friend's borrowing it, so that's why I was able to remember that one easier. So I hope that suffices, Jen. If not, DM me and we'll talk more. Jess over at Jess the Book Lover is, if you like the genre, what is your favorite contemporary? Smiley face. So when it comes to contemporary, I don't know. I really have been enjoying the Life in the Zone series by Patricia B. Tai, and that would fall into contemporary a little more than romance for me because it's more about how they get to the romantic parts. So that's the one that comes to mind. I also really enjoyed the Summer I Turned Pretty series by Jenny Han. I haven't read her more recent series, but I would probably say one of those 2 series is what is contemporary feeling to me. Jen Egan 26 says, so fun. What is your current read? My current read is several things. It's Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. It's Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. And then Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. Like, I'm always reading multiple things at a time, so I can just keep one with me, and then if I leave it in the car, I still have one in the house I'm reading, and then an audiobook, and blah, 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 blah. So I'm constantly reading lots of things at the same time. All right, Patricia B. Ty. Hi, Patricia. So what is the hardest part about making a booktube video? I think for me is just making sure that my content is worthwhile and that somebody else is going to appreciate it. I mean, I could sit with a camera in my face and talk to you about anything, but I really want to make sure that the content that I'm making is important and that it'll help people discover a book they may not know about, or to be able to get a maybe slightly different opinion on a super popular book. The YA Gal, which is author Jennifer Bardsley. She wrote Genesis Girl. She's absolutely fantastic. She asked, how long does it take to edit a video? Well, I don't do any real serious edits. I think the longest I've ever spent editing a video is like a half an hour, because I still keep my editing very simple. I cut out a lot of my ums and ands, and outside of that, if there's a huge dead space somewhere, I'll edit. And then, you know, if I have to insert a book because I don't actually have it in my hands or have it in my house, then I do that. But I really don't spend a ton of time editing. I try to not film until I feel ready so that I can just cut out those few things and streamline the whole process. Erin over at Books in the Wild asks, what's the most embarrassing thing that has happened in relation to Booktube? So I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but sometimes I actually film without pants on because you guys are only seeing me from like here up. So if I'm being super lazy, I'll just throw on a shirt and kind of do something with my hair and makeup and then just film. That's probably the most embarrassing thing related to Booktube. I also was kind of a spaz when I met Brandon Sanderson a while back. I'll link that video down below. I kind of spazzed all over him and I kind of felt bad. So hopefully he's forgiven me by now. So sorry, Brandon, forgive me. Gingered Whisk asks, what's your favorite thing to snack on while reading? I like salty snacks while I read. So it's usually like a popcorn or a pretzel or something along those lines. So I like salty snacks when I'm reading. And then I always have drinks nearby. It's usually like Powerade water or my totally lame-o drink of caffeine-free Diet Coke, because I'm trying not to do the caffeine thing. I'm trying to cut out the calories thing. So that's what I end up with, and my mom would call it brown water. Melanie McFarland over at McFarland Books. She's the author of There Once Were Stars. Her and I are great pals. Hers was, and I draw a blank. So anyways, go check out Melanie's book. It's absolutely fantastic. She's working on the sequel right now, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Okay, so Eleni writing, or Eleni? I don't know how to say that. I'll write it down here with everybody else's. Her question is, who would you recommend in YA fantasy, YA contemporary, and YA dystopian? So YA dystopian, I would actually recommend Melanie McFarland and Jennifer Bardsley. Both of their books are new releases this year, and they were absolutely fantastic. YA contemporary, it would be Patricia B. Ty, Elisa Dane, and then probably Jenny Han. YA fantasy, oh gall, I could go on forever. I really like Maggie Stiefvater. I like Sarah J. Maas. I like lots of them. Brandon Sanderson, obviously. What's that series? Oh, Marissa Meyer. Kristen Kishore, the Graceling series is really great. If that's not enough for you, DM me. All right, author Elisa Dane. Hi. What program do you use to edit? So I use a Sony software. I use the Sony movie. It's not like the general one that's just installed on their machines. It's the next step up from that. I'll leave the name down here below. It's a really simple, really easy software. It's kind of idiot-proof if you have worked with editing software at all. But I'm not necessarily an Apple, iPad, iBook kind of gal. I'm more of a PC gal because I like to customize things. So that's how I end up with Sony software. Dorothy Dreyer asks, do you have bloopers? Show us. So basically, most of my bloopers are ands and ums. Anything else I've usually left in the video because I think they're funny and people would enjoy them, so I usually leave them in. Steph Scott, who's got her debut novel coming out in October, she said, favorite book that's not your typical genre. Well, honestly, that's probably gonna be my Sister's Reaper by Dorothy Dreyer, because I don't usually like those thriller suspense kind of novels, but that series very much is, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. The other one would be In Rule by Holly Sparks, which I read just recently. And I went into it not knowing it was a zombie book, because if I knew it was a zombie book, I wouldn't have picked it up. But I ended up really enjoying it. It was a really quick, fast pace, and I really liked that. Yeah, that's it. If you guys have any other questions, leave them in the comments down below, and I'd be happy to answer them for you. I hope you enjoyed this video and this little celebration of me being on Booktube for a year. I plan on doing a giveaway as soon as I hit 500 subscribers, so share with your friends if you want to have a giveaway done fairly soon, and I will talk to you guys next time. Have an awesome day. Bye.